Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, dear viewers? Today we will be speaking about self-talk. As you have seen from the previous episode, the most recurring theme in this series is how the relationship with yourself affects behavior change. And one of the most important aspects of the relationship with yourself is how you speak to yourself. I'll give you one story to illustrate that. There were two hospitalized sick people in the hospital, two men. One was seated near the window and the other one was seated on the other side, and both were being restricted from sitting up. One was allowed to sit every day for 1 hour because of draining fluid from the lungs. When he would sit, they would talk about their families, their jobs, their friends, and the one who was next to the window would describe outside to the other one. At that time, he would tell the other sick person how there was a lake outside and the lake was filled with playing ducks and swans, and children were riding boats on the lake, and people were walking happily along the lake, and there were beautiful trees and flowers all around the lake. The other person, who was almost depressed, would look forward to that 1 hour where he would get a description of the outside world that enlivened him and made him happy. One day, the man who was next to the window fell incredibly ill and died, and the other man was sad and later asked if he could move to the other side of the wall. And when he moved, he painfully tried to sit up and look at the side of the window. And when he looked at the window, he saw that the window was facing a wall. And when he asked the nurse about it, he told him that the other sick person was blind and maybe he was just trying to encourage him. So this is an illustration on how we choose to talk to ourselves and how we choose to view the world. What's happening around us, our lives are stories which are constantly unfolding to us, and we are constantly telling ourselves about the events of these stories. In cognitive mediation theory in psychology, it states that it's not about the events that happen around us, it is how we think of those events, which leads to this equation that says the events plus our thoughts leads to how we feel, which means that how we habitually think leads to how we feel. So if we want to feel good, we should talk to ourselves in a positive manner. And in psychology, negative self-talk is called cognitive distortions. Why are they called cognitive distortions? Because they are negative and inaccurate. They are negative things that we tell ourselves that is not the reality of the life that we have around us. So we're going to speak about different types of cognitive distortions, different types of negative self-talk. And please listen as viewers and see what resonates with you and what you habitually tell yourself in your mind, because it affects how we view the world and it eventually affects how we feel. So if you're always feeling sad, if you're always feeling angry, it is because of the things that you are telling yourself. So the first one I'm going to tackle is mind reading. This is when we assume we know what other people are thinking. We assume you know what's going on in their head without any evidence, and it is usually in a negative light. For example, you're speaking to somebody and they look at their watch, and while you're speaking to them, you tell yourself, look at them, they're already bored, I'm so boring. That is why they're looking at the watch. Let me stop talking so that I release them, and they go. Subhanallah, you don't even know what they were thinking, but you've already decided that this person is bored and that is why they looked at their watch, and that is inaccurate. That will lead to your misery, because you will go home feeling sad and that person hasn't told you anything. You're the one who was reading their mind. Another type is overgeneralization. This is the habit of telling ourselves that certain events are likely to keep happening to you and are always happening to you, and these are negative events without any evidence. For example, you go to the airport and you miss your flight, and what do you say? You say, I'm always missing my flight and I will always miss my flight. I don't know what I'm going to do. It only happens, let's say, thrice or twice, but you make it your reality, and there's no other reality apart from that. I'm sure you do this. For example, you sleep late, you wake up and you're about to go to work, and when you wake up, you look at the watch and you realize that you're so late, and you tell yourself, I'm always late. And that's not the case. You are telling yourself that you're always late. Maybe it has happened 2 or 3 times. And as human beings, we are always changing, and you cannot tell yourself that I'm always late. Okay? Another type of negative self-talk is magnification. This is when we take a certain negative trait in ourselves, or a certain event that happened to us, and we make it the spotlight. We put the spotlight on it and we exaggerate it. For example, you are speaking and you mistake one word for the other. Although after you're done, nobody noticed it and everybody understood what you were saying, but you make it such a big deal to yourself, and you start telling yourself bad words. How can I do that? Look at how I am. I don't even know. I've been practicing for so long and I still did a mistake. Or you fall down while giving a speech, and you become so embarrassed, and you make it the highlight of the day, even though you stood up and everything else went okay, but you still focus on the negative trait and you magnify it and exaggerate it. I'm sure we also do that to other people, because we're already doing it to ourselves. When somebody beside you makes a tiny mistake, and you make it the highlight of the day. So if you do that, let go of the mistakes of others and of yourselves, and they aren't the end of the world. Another type of a negative self-talk, a cognitive distortion, is minimization. This is the opposite of magnification, almost the opposite of magnification. So what's minimization? It is when you minimize your good qualities or your positive qualities, and you discredit them. For example, somebody tells you, you're so good at cooking. I used to do this to myself a lot. Somebody would tell me, your food is so good, mashallah, and I would say it's the nature of the food. If it's biryani is delicious. That's why biryani is delicious. I'm not the one, I'm not responsible for making the biryani delicious. So you detach from the good qualities that you have, and you do not allow yourself to enjoy the goodness that you have, or the positive qualities that you have. So anything that is good in you, you minimize it, and already you are magnifying the faults that you have, and you're minimizing the good that you have. For example, somebody tells you, congratulations, you got an A in your exam. Then you say, yes, but I failed the most common math question. Even though you got an A, you're still minimizing it and focusing on the one question that you got wrong that was obvious and everybody got it right. Another type of cognitive distortion is personalization. This is when you assume excessive responsibility for things that are out of your control. And this makes you become controlling. You want to control everything, and it leads to chronic anxiety and stress. For example, you go and apply for a visa, and all your documents are in order, and you answer all the questions well, but you still do not get the visa. Then you sit down and you remember when they ask you a certain question, you didn't seem confident enough. Then you say, that's the reason. I didn't get a visa because I was not confident. If I had answered in confidence, I would have gotten the visa. And that is false. It is not in your control that you didn't get. No matter how you would have answered the questions, sometimes also as Muslims, we should believe in qadar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had decreed that you would not get the visa. So whatever you did not do or did not cause you to not get the visa. You would have ultimately not gotten the visa. As a Muslim, you tie your camel, you do everything right, but the results depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is what personalization does to you. You say, I should have, maybe there's something I didn't do, and you take excessive control for something that you're not in control of. Another type of cognitive distortion is labeling. This is when you describe yourself or others in an extreme way. And as human beings, as I said, we are ever changing, we are complex. So when you categorize yourself, or you brand yourself, or put yourself in a box, your brain actually believes it. For example, your cup falls from your hand and it breaks, and you tell yourself, I'm so clumsy. I'm so clumsy. You're already branding yourself to be clumsy, and your brain believes that you're clumsy, and you continue becoming clumsy. So be careful of these words. Can you call your beloved clumsy? Would you call them those petty names? You wouldn't. So call yourself good names. Do not brand yourself and call yourself and label yourself a negative words such as clumsy, I'm stupid, I am lazy, I am. Get rid of that, because let's say, for example, even if it's the truth, you're lazy, but don't brand yourself lazy. Say, I am working hard towards being in a certain way. And that is how, in psychology, it's called neuroplasticity. This is the ability of your brain to adapt to different situations. So it doesn't matter who you are now, even if you're lazy today, even if you're clumsy today, you encourage yourself, and that is how you become better. You do not become better by branding yourself and calling yourself bad names. So these are all examples of negative distortions, and I'm sure you can all relate to them, because we might be kind and compassionate and pleasant to other people, but what we are telling ourselves inside our heads is so nasty, and this is what makes us lag behind from so many things in life, psychologically. That being said, how can we cope with this? How can we cope with telling ourselves bad things? Number one, we should try and spot these types of negative distortions in other people. Look at how other people are talking and try and spot them. For example, somebody calls themselves, I'm fat or I'm lazy. Spot them and now internalize, do I do that to myself? Because if you start spotting them and getting used to them, you also start seeing it in yourself if you're doing it wrong. Okay? Number two, when you're going through negative emotions or whatever emotions, allow yourself to feel the emotions without trying to fix it or rush through it. A lot of us are raised as seeing emotions such as anger or sadness as a problem. And whenever you feel sad or you feel angry, you rush to solve, why am I feeling like this? I shouldn't feel like this. Just let yourself feel these emotions and get over them. When I say let yourself feel these emotions, just excuse yourself if you can, or give yourself time to cry, to grieve, to feel the anger without reacting, and let the emotion go. Because emotions are like waves. They come strongly, they sweep you away, then it becomes calm. So let the emotions come, feel them without reacting, and let them go. Another way is being intentional with self-criticism. You cannot say, oh, you will not criticize, because there is positive criticism. But how do you criticize yourself? When you are angry or sad or feeling shame or feeling guilty, you rush into ultimatums or you rush into poor decisions. So when you are feeling an emotion, which is a negative one, put a time aside to speak to yourself. Do not say, I will do this and this. When you're angry, you start making ultimatums. Give yourself time, another time, to sit now and rationalize the situation. Jikalisha meeting, sit with yourself in a meeting and talk about what happened, what made you angry, what are the facts, what led to it, and what can you do in the future. Not there when you're already angry. So these are the ways that you can try and get rid of the negative self-talk. And another way is also making dua. Everything that you're going through, make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for you. The last way is self-love. Again, just like how we use self-love to combat low self-esteem and low self-confidence. Self-love. Imagine if it was somebody that you love and is going through this, or they're telling themselves nasty things. For example, your husband, your mom comes to you and says, I'm such a bad person, I am such an evil person. What would you tell them? Say, no, you're not evil, you're a good person, this is what you can do. Do that to yourself also. Whenever you're telling yourself nasty things, think of yourself as somebody that is beloved to you, because we cannot wait for other people to come and save us and come and love us. We must start doing that with ourselves. So I hope this was beneficial, and if you can resonate with any of this, please try and practice the steps that we said. Having said that, this is the end of this 3-part series. I hope you benefited. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.